Hey guys, here we are. We're going to talk about. So the title of this video is "Does Paulie watch my videos?" And I'm going to go through and show some clips of him talking about the Conor McGregor fight and what he has to say about fainting and probing and whatever. And I'm not saying he does, but there are a lot of people that call me out, try to tell me I don't know shit about boxing, blah blah blah. They don't understand the importance of setting up their punches. And the clip that we're about to show right now, they're talking about Jose Aldo, who was like, Brendan Schaub's about to break it down who that guy was, but the king of his division for many years. And that's extremely, nobody's going to understand how difficult that is to be that dominant in UFC. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit more at the end of the video, but I'm going to play some of this stuff, and I got a couple of different clips I'm going to show.
The viewers need to understand, though, Aldo just isn't some schlub that walked in. They're talking about a guy who's undefeated for 10 years. The king of the 145-pound division. A monster.
But he ran straight in.
Yeah.
You gotta feint your way in if you to justify the distance.
You got to feint your way in.
The gap you're going to give up to a taller guy, you need to feint your way in.
You know why that happened, Paulie?
You cannot just run in.
You know why that happened?
You cannot just run in. You got to feint your way in. And what they're talking about is how Jose Aldo comes in, he doesn't set his punch up, and he throws a right hook. Funny enough, that right hook, I think it hits McGregor, and McGregor has like a fat knot on his head, and like he's bruised up from that one punch, right? But McGregor catches him with a straight left hand and knocks him out cold with one shot. And that's what happens when you don't set your punches up. And we're going to talk about why that's important a little bit later.
Sorry to interrupt you. Why that happened is because Conor got in his head.
That part I think is kind of, maybe true for that, but that's not what I'm focusing on. We're going to talk about the next little clip.
See what's going on over here. There's not much here. I'm going to start walking him down.
Floyd's not stupid enough to go in there and go, I know he's the bigger guy. I know he's knocked guys out, but that's MMA. I'm just going to go in there and rush him.
No, not round one. I don't even think round two. It's going to take a couple of rounds for Floyd to start figuring things out.
At least 4 to 5.
See how, I wouldn't say 4 to 5, but my opinion. See how he's biting on the feints. See how he's biting on the probing shots. See how he reacts to the 1 or 2 hard shots he may throw, because you're not going to throw very many hard shots. See what you're doing and see how Conor's reacting. Based on the kind of reactions you get if he's putting himself out of position.
Right.
Feints, probes, if he's putting himself out of position. Literally everything that I talk about in my fucking videos. People want to call me out. Paulie Malignaggi is saying it in front of millions of people. Listen to this shit.
If he's reacting the wrong way, you start to up the ante a little bit. You start to throw harder. You start to become more aggressive. If Conor reacts the right way, though, Floyd's going to be there on the back. Floyd's going to be like, all right. I got to keep it defensive. I gotta keep playing chess with him. It all depends on Conor.
I agree. And let me nip this in.
Now, the interesting thing about that is Floyd Mayweather's not known for his feints and his probes. That's what all I'm going to say about that. Conor's the one that's going to be feinting and probing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video, too. I'm going to kind of make this like a little bit of a wrap-up of some of that stuff. I'm not sure if I should do videos like, keys to victory and shit, because we don't have any fucking videos of Conor McGregor really boxing, and anytime I put anything up, like this video is going to get taken down. If you watched it before, Showtime hit me up with all these copyrights, like the 4 videos that I have put up in the last couple days, or the last week, I've had a copyright infringement strike on them every single day for almost every one of the videos. I have to battle back, and so I'm going to get it with this video too, but let's see. And then 53.
You're also using it to parry. I don't know how much you're parrying in mixed martial arts. You're parrying a lot. You can use them, open up and push shots away, parry, catch. But you got to be careful with all that, because you can be feinted out of position and parry air. I feint a jab at you. You may go to parry it and not come over with a left hook instead. And come around. You know what I mean? So these are all little techniques that.
Exactly what I say in my fucking videos, right? Parry you out of position or feint you out of position. Verbatim. Everything that this guy's saying in his video, in this thing about how Mayweather is going to win the fight or whatever, like how he thinks the skills are not going to be transferable, or he's he's questioning whether they're transferable or not. These are all things that you get from my videos. I talk about how like how he talks about how Jose Aldo doesn't feint his way in, gets knocked out with one shot, right? Then he talks about the feinting and the probing. How is McGregor going to react to the feints and the probes, right? And then now he's talking about how more probing or like feinting to get your opponent out of position so you can hit him with another shot, right? All stuff that I talk about in my videos, you know. And I'm not saying nothing against you, Paulie. Like if you're watching my videos, man, it's just dope. Give me a shout out. Do me like that idiot Jim Lampley did Lee Wiley, and now everyone think that guy's a fucking boxing genius. Man, I watch a couple of his videos. Man, some of them are alright, you know. They're cool, whatever. They're entertaining. You know, my videos, I guess they're not entertaining. You know, you really actually have to pay attention to my videos. They're not like, you know, like pop music and shit. Like, I'm not fucking Justin Timberlake putting on fucking music for you guys. Go fucking entertain yourselves on your own time. I'm fucking teaching boxing. But give me a fucking shout out, Paulie. Get me a fucking job at Showtime so these fucking clowns stop fucking giving me these bullshit copyright strikes. Y'all know I ain't fucking with your copyrights. Go ahead and steal as much money from all these fighters and these copyright things as you can. But you know what? Pay me for my fucking boxing knowledge, you know? Anyway, talking about the breakdown of the fight. I don't know if I should do like I think I'll do a recap video of it, but I want to touch up on these quick points. There's a great irony in all the things that Paulie Malignaggi is saying as skills that Floyd Mayweather has, or skills that are succinct to boxing, right? And the irony is that Mayweather doesn't use these skills. You know, very rarely does Mayweather use these skills, like probing. In my film study of Mayweather versus Pacquiao, it's not titled that. It's just trouble with southpaws or whatever. I talk about how all the different ways that Mayweather sets up his offense, and a couple times he'll like throw a jab in, you know, get Pacquiao to move his head, and then he'll throw that same jab, make him move his head, and then throw a right hand to the same spot, right? You know, setting up a trap for Pacquiao. Or catching him in between Pacquiao's feints, because Pacquiao's a very rhythm fighter. You know, Mayweather is extremely good at picking up on your rhythms and your timings, extremely good at breaking them up. But as far as setting up his punches, he doesn't do a lot of feinting. He doesn't do a lot of probing, especially against left-handed fighters. And also, as we saw, he doesn't have an active guard. You know, the guard that he had against Maidana was insane. Super good, right? And he was able to throw punches off of any angle, any movement. He did a great job in that fight. He looked like a complete fighter. And Mayweather just doesn't have the experience fighting southpaws. You know, I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, he's 50 and he's 49 and 0." That doesn't mean that he's good at setting up his punches against southpaws. He fights them fine. He did a great job against Manny Pacquiao. But that doesn't mean that it was perfect. That doesn't mean that there aren't things to exploit. Every fighter in all of boxing's history has been a limited fighter in some capacity, right? Mayweather happens to be insanely fast, and as far as like controlling their opponent, right? Although he doesn't use very many of the offensive techniques, they're very sparing. He uses the defensive ones brilliantly. You know, controlling their head after he punches. You know. Knowing when to clinch or how to get into a position to clinch when his opponent is setting up offense, controlling their shoulders or their whole body after he punches, you know, getting his hands on them to take them off balance after he throws punches. He does that very well, but even against southpaws. But against southpaws, he just doesn't have as much of an ability to land his offense without putting himself in danger. And the irony of everything that Paulie Malignaggi was saying, getting back to the point, is these are all skills that Conor McGregor demonstrates when he fights, even in MMA. When he fights Eddie Alvarez, he shows them, feinting, probing, getting Eddie Alvarez to go first, putting himself out of position when he throws punches, and then cracking him with a big shot and dropping him, and then knocking him down. Also, in the training video when he fights, when he spars against... Who's that guy that fought Errol Spence? man, I feel bad for that guy. He's an accomplished fighter. You know, he's a good fighter. He's a nice guy. I can't even remember his name. Van Heerden. I don't know his first name. Chris Van Heerden. But it's in my video. Can McGregor box? I talk about it. He uses those same skills: feinting, probing, getting Van Heerden to put himself out of position. Even though Van Heerden's able to like maneuver his way out of danger pretty readily. You know, he'll take a shot, but then he's able to get out of position or get back into position really well. He's still taking shots because McGregor knows how to set up his punches. And there's a great irony in the fact that McGregor is able to do this against a fellow left-handed fighter, right? And most of these skills in boxing they're not transferable. People don't understand that using those skills, they think that that's something that's like when you see like a left-handed and a right-handed fighter, you see them two fighting, they both vie for position because they both know what the dominant position is. So it's much more easily, it's much more like common knowledge, right? People just know that. And when you're in conventional versus a conventional or left-handed versus left-handed, people don't understand what the dominant positions are, so they don't even know that they're fighting for a position. They literally think that they're just running in and throwing punches, trying to make the other guy make a mistake and catching him when he makes a mistake. They don't understand that you can make your opponent make mistakes. They don't understand that when your opponent, like, it gets simple and broken down as, like Paulie just says, you know, you throw a jab, then they go to parry the jab, but it's really a left hook, and they're out of position. And that's as basic as it gets, is your opponent being out of position for one punch, right? You don't have to have your feet on an outside angle, right? And be in a quote unquote superior position that's going to set up all of your offense. You can have little like micro positionings that put your opponent out of position to defend certain punches, and it's the same thing. It's just as effective for winning a micro engagement as getting lead foot dominance. Anyway, Paulie, keep spitting knowledge. If you do watch my channel, give me a shout out, man. That'd be dope as fuck. Or give me a job, you know? Anyway. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm not saying that Paulie watches my videos. Who knows? You know, he uses a lot of the same keywords, right? You know, positioning, feinting, and probing, right? Everyone knows feinting, but, you know, not as many people talk about probing. I've never seen any other boxing channel talk about being out of position, or being out of position when you parry a punch and then getting caught with the trap punch, you know? So who knows? Maybe he's watching my videos, or maybe you fucking clowns in there talking shit. Maybe we just both know what the fuck we're talking about. I don't know.